Ladies and gentlemen, the Premier League is back. After a crazy month at the Euros where England came so close
to start broken again,
it's time to swap international football back to the club football. So in this video, we're going to be predicting the entire Premier League table to see if I can smash it. And if you're ready to see me fail miserably, make sure to smash the like, hit that big red subscribe button for so many adventures from the Premier League and the Champions League for the next season. And we, of course, are going to begin at the bottom. And for me, at 20th place is going to be Leicester City. I think losing their manager to Chelsea is a massive, massive negative. And as well, their best player, Dewsbury Hall, has also gone to Chelsea in a double whammy that will hit the Foxes hard, in my opinion. Jamie Vardy is getting on a bit. How many goals is he going to chip in? I think Leicester's team hasn't really changed since they got relegated from the Premier League in 2023. So we're going to have to see what they cook. My answer is nothing. I'm going to put them bottom. Somebody's got to be bottom. Sorry, Leicester fans. But Leicester to get relegated this year. In 19th, I've gone with Southampton. Again, they haven't really strengthened. The main thing that they've strengthened is St Mary's Stadium. They've decided to make where the away section was a whole Southampton wall and have moved the away fans into the corner that you now won't see on telly, into the family section. But I still think they won't have enough. It won't be as bad as the season, not last year, the year before when they were relegated by miles, but I still think it'll be pretty bad. 19th for the Saints. And in 18th, for surprise maybe to you guys, I've gone with Brentford. I think they are the three teams to go down. My idea on Brentford is I think Thomas Frank is going to get recruited from another club. I think in January, February, he may go to someone else in the Premier League. Maybe, I think in somewhere maybe in the Serie A. But maybe Thomas Frank goes as well as Ivan Toney. How many goals can the Brentford front three be able to combine together if there's no Toney in it? They did struggle without him when he had his betting suspension. When he came back in, he shored them up, made them a lot more of a compact unit in that front line. I just don't think Brentford are going to have enough and they're going to slip through the trapdoor. Meaning in 17th, Nottingham Forest will yet again survive. I know Stevie Cooper is now at their arch rivals in Leicester, which is a bit of a strange move. Nuno Ball, will that keep them up? I think just will he get sacked? I'm not sure. I think he might, but I think Nottingham Forest will just about survive. But for me, I think that Nottingham Forest will just about stay up once more. And then at 16th, I've gone with Bournemouth. I think losing Solanke to the Tottenham Bottles could be a major, major effect on them. I don't think they'll score as many as they did last year. They had an amazing season last year. Everyone was writing off for Bournemouth to go down. I don't think they'll go down. I think they'll stay up. But I think they're going to struggle. In at 15th, I've gone with Fulham. I think they will just, well, they're not good enough to get mid-table and they're too good to go down. I think they'll be round about 15th. In at 14th, I've gone with Everton. Everton. I mean, last season at Goodison Park for them before they go to the new Dockland Stadium. I may have put them a little bit low, but I'm back in Everton at 14th. Sean Dyche will definitely keep them up. Depends what's going on with the Premier League. Obviously, City are in that boat as well. We're going to have Newcastle probably in that boat. Chelsea maybe, definitely Nottingham Forest. How many points are they going to get riddled of? They had a brilliant season last year. Imagine if the point deductions didn't stand, they would be near the top 8. So I'll go Everton for 14th because it's unpredictable what they could do. In at 13th, I've gone with the team in which the referee's against us every single time. I've gone with Wolverhampton Wanderers. I've been there 8 times to Molineux. 8 times they've said that and 8 times they've failed to score. So that's a very interesting record I have watching Wolves at Molineux. And I think, again, same with Fulham. They're not good enough to hit that height and they're too good to go down. Wolves at 13th. In at 12th, let me cook on this one, Ipswich. I think they've made some incredible signings. How is our ex-boy Delap going to do up top? They've brought in some brilliant players. They have spent some money and they were magical last season to get in that second place and get up. And I think the Tractor Boys have to concentrate on how many games can they win at Portman Road. And I think they're going to have a great home record. They've got a good atmosphere. It'll be even better now in the Premier League. I've heard they've got ultras as well, Ipswich. So they'll definitely be conducting the Portman Road atmosphere. I think they're going to do it. I think they're generally going to have a fantastic season. It's a little bit of an interesting call, don't get me wrong. They probably could go down, but they could also get 12. Let Liam Delap cook. I'm reckoning 12 to 15 goals for him. Let's see what Ipswich can do. In at 11th, I'm going with Brighton. Obviously, the European Cup competitions let them down last time. They haven't really made any major additions. We'll have to let the Brighton scouts cook because they are absolutely crazy. I just think it's going to be an average season for Brighton, and I'd put them in at 11th. Time for the top 10, and in at 10th, I'm going with Crystal Palace. Many people's dark horses, and I see why. At the end of last season, they were absolutely cooking with that front three, Eze, Mateta, and Elise. Obviously, it's very disappointing that Elise has gone to Bayern Munich. They've still managed to keep hold of Mateta. They've still managed to keep hold of Eze. They've still managed to keep hold of Gueye for now. Newcastle are knocking on that door. Who knows what they're going to do with Gueye until the summer transfer window. I think Crystal Palace have got a very, very good foundation of a team. But I'm going with 10th. They're not my dark horses. I've got a team that are my dark horses that are higher up on this list. Crystal Palace in 10th. In at 9th, I've gone with Chelsea. Too many goddamn players. Yes, they have some good players. Can Cucurella cook like he did for Spain? Can Cole Palmer be as good as last year? Can Nicholas Michael Jackson actually find the back of the net more frequently than he did? Got good players, Chelsea. Not a good team. It's like PSG. Too many individuals on that pitch. None of them can work together. And that's what I think will happen with Chelsea. And the fact that they've got Europa Conference League as well. They're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday. I mean, with this squad size, it should be all right playing Thursday, Sunday. But weakness is on teams playing Thursday, Sunday. And that goes on to my team that are coming in at 8th. And a lot of you will have this team in 8th higher. Aston Villa, I'm going with 8th. They've made some good signings, obviously, with the Premier League rules that City have taken the Premier League to court over. They've had to spend as much as they've sold. So losing Douglas Luiz, they've replaced him with Onana. Losing Diaby as well. I just don't think Aston Villa are capable to play midweek and weekend football. It is difficult, and I think they will get the equivalent of grouped in the Champions League with this new league format. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love Aston Villa to cook, man. I'd love them to get top 4. I'd love them to make a progress in Europe. This is a prediction, and I just personally don't think that it's going to happen. But I'm going with a bold one. I'm going Villa in 8th. In at 7th, I'm going with West Ham. They're my dark horses. In at 7th. I actually have them on my list at 6th, but I've swapped it last minute. No European football for them, even though they've got good experience in the European football. They lost, obviously, to runners-up by Leverkusen in the Europa League last year. But I think West Ham have cooked with their signings. Rodriguez is a great CDM. Fulkrug up front, as well as Aaron Wan-Bissaka to shore things up at the back. West Ham are churning. They are going to be there or thereabouts, maybe pushing top 6. We all know how good West Ham were in the I think it was the 2021-22 season to ultimately get into the Europa League and then went and won the Conference League the season after. So we all know what West Ham could do, and under a new manager as well. Let them cook. I'm going with West Ham in at 7th. In at 6th, I'm going with a team that I think may win a trophy this year, and that is Newcastle United. The Geordie boys going in at number 6. I just think that they've got a very good team. Tonali coming back from his suspension as well. Obviously, Botman still being out is a massive blow, and I do think they do need to get that Gueye signing over the line. And if they do, I really think Newcastle could be the real deal. But I think rather than charging the top 4, I think Newcastle should focus on winning the FA Cup or the League Cup. Getting silverware under Eddie Howe, who hopefully England pinch, and he goes to manage the national team. But if he leaves as well, that could be that's a massive blow for Newcastle if he goes. But I don't think he will. I think Newcastle will do well this season, and I think they will win the League Cup. Obviously, disappointment against United a couple of years ago, but I think Newcastle may have a chance of winning that League Cup. But do you prioritise top 4 or trophy? Newcastle fans, let me know in the comments. Would you rather see your team get in the top 4, have another crack at the Champions League next year, or Newcastle win a trophy? For me, it's the trophy. Newcastle need to get some silverware. In at 5th, a lot of you will say Manchester United here. I disagree. I'm going with the other member of the Red Cartel, and I'm going Liverpool to finish 5th. I just think with no signings, Zubimendi literally said no to them. I don't want to go to Liverpool. I just don't know what the pull factor is at the moment with Liverpool, if there is one. I just don't think Liverpool have got that capability to sign one of the big boys. And it's disappointing because Liverpool should have that pull factor. But now Jurgen Klopp's gone. How are they going to fare under Arne Slot? I know Slot plays good attacking football. But Ten Hag cooked in the Dutch league, and we've seen how bad he is. That's funny that I'm putting Manchester United ahead of Liverpool. But I just think that Liverpool need to get that signings. And that's the reason why I'm putting United ahead of Liverpool, is they've got some good signings in. And they've got some big boys that are joining the club. And Liverpool just signed nobody. That Zubimendi deal was a big one, and they messed it up because Zubimendi got given the chance to go to Liverpool and he said no. So I don't really understand how they didn't get that one over the line, but anyway, obviously they've got some very, very good players that are title charged in specific years. Obviously Mo Salah is now in the 30s, which is a problem. Luis Diaz was linked with City at one point this week. It was a bit of a crazy week. How is Darwin Núñez going to do? Because if he doesn't start scoring, he needs to get sold, because you've done 2 years now with Darwin and he's not cooked at all. He had a good game against City in the Community Shield where people were comparing him to Haaland. Haaland then that year went on to break the goal record. So you need to start thinking about whether Darwin Núñez is the right player for Liverpool. Is he going to be the right player under Arnie? That midfield definitely does need some work. You've got to get a number 6 in there. But the back four is very strong. Trent Alexander-Arnold cooks on that right-hand side in that system. But will that same system be the same with Slot and Robertson and Van Dijk? I think Liverpool are very, very good at the back. But it's forward and midfield that they've got to improve on. They need a 6 and they need a striker. So in at 4th is Manchester United, literally for the sole reason of they've got De Ligt and they've got Mazraoui over the line. That's 2 brilliant signings in my opinion. I think Matthias De Ligt is a very, very underrated player. Even underrated by Ronald Koeman, the national team, who preferred to put De Vrij. I don't understand that one. That helped England win that semi-final because De Vrij was playing centre-back and De Ligt wasn't. I think De Ligt's a way better player. He had a really good year at Bayern Munich. He should have got a last-minute goal against Madrid. I think Manchester United have made some really good signings. Obviously, Euro coming in and being out for 3 months never helps, but now they've got arguably one of the best young centre-backs in the world in Matthias De Ligt. How will the Bayern boys cook on the right-hand side of that defence? Will it be Harry Maguire and Lissandro Martinez? Obviously, Luke Shaw's fitness is now becoming a problem. He just cannot start. He just cannot get in the team. And the minute that he comes back, he's injured again. Like, he came back for the Euros. Rasmus Højlund's 2nd year now at Manchester United. Obviously took him to December to score. How's he going to start off? Is he going to hit the ground running? I know Manchester United have got some good fixtures as well. They've got Fulham at home, Brighton away, and Liverpool at home on the 3rd week. Will be a very interesting game against Arne Slot. In a game I which think Manchester United might win that one. And how is Alejandro Garnacho going to do? Rashford's got to show up. Last season he was so bad. The season before he was so good. Very, very inconsistent. I don't know whether he's back with his girlfriend or whatever. I think that has a factor in his game. But I just think Manchester United will pip Liverpool to 4th place and a Champions League spot based on the signings. But if Liverpool hit some signings, I'll swap them over. You guys know my top 3, and in at 3rd, I am going with Arsenal. I just think that their time to win the Premier League was last year, but mainly the year before, when they hit April the 1st in absolute cruise control and then literally had a Tottenham bottle Arsenal meltdown and didn't go on to win the league, in which started with drop points against Southampton, with West Ham, with defeats here, left, right and centre. Last year, obviously, they finished 2 points behind us, but we always, since that Villa game, I think we had that momentum, actually, from the minute that they celebrated a part-the-bus 0-0 draw against City. And I've seen their fans criticising us for over-celebrating the Shield. They are definitely ones to talk. Arsenal will either win the league or fall off. I don't think they'll come 2nd again. They're either too strong or not strong enough. I don't think a number 9 is there. Gabriel Jesus isn't the man. I believe we did well to cash out on him. But the defence is looking very, very good. Very good. Julian Timber is pretty much a new signing after having his ACL out the whole of last season. On top of that, Calafiori coming in. Is he going to play left back? Is he going to play Ben White right back? Is Gabriel even going to start now? I think the only starter is Saliba. It's just who do you make your back 4 round? I don't think David Raya is the best goalkeeper in the world. Decent ball player, so I think that's a vulnerability back there. I'm surprised Arsenal haven't gone out and signed a CDM to allow Rice play left or right, to push on like he was doing, and Ødegaard in that role, which he is so good at. He's a baller, Ødegaard. Martinelli, Saka, and I just think Havertz isn't the one maybe to win them the title with that striker. But you guys may disagree with me. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. But I'm going Arsenal 3rd. They'll either win the league or come 3rd. I don't think they'll come 2nd. So we have Tottenham and City remaining. And in at 2nd, I am going with the boys in blue. I am going with my club, Manchester City, to finish 2nd and just to miss out on 5 Premier Leagues in a row. Now, I know you guys are thinking, What is James cooking, man? Why is he putting Tottenham first? I will tell you why. Here's my explanation. I will never, ever predict Manchester City to win the Premier League, ever. I just can't do it. I can't do it because then I go into the season with too much confidence. So City, every Premier League prediction I will do, will always finish second. And I just think this season, for me, personally, that we have to focus on the Champions League. 4 in a row is the record that we all wanted, that we've done. And we beat Manchester United's record of obviously tying it with 3. And now we've gone one better and got the 4. For me, 5, people are going to hate us if we win 5. People are already hating us over these charges anyway. And obviously, this is the season where the charges are going to be found out. And I think we are going to be left clear. The Premier League will not relegate City as much as you all want us to be relegated to League 2 rival fans, and particularly the Red Cartel. I think in terms of the revenue in which the Premier League is all about, I know the Red Cartel, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, way bring in more revenue, but City are on a par with Chelsea on that 4th or 5th spot. So we do bring in the Premier League money, and for that reason, they will not relegate us. We may get a point deduction. What I think is we'll get like a 50 million fine, which keeps the Premier League ticking for another 10 years. Richard Masters gets a big payday. But that's my personal opinion. Obviously, everyone will have their personal opinions, but none of us know. We know the broader line charges of it, but we don't know generally what's gone on. But that's with the charges. There is a possible point deduction, but who knows? And yet again, I will never put City to finish first because I just don't for superstitions purposes. But I think generally we need to prioritise the Champions League. For me, I know a lot of City fans don't agree with this. The younger ones will, the people my age. We want to see us win the European Cup. We want to see us catch up to Manchester United, who are now 2 European Cups ahead. Liverpool obviously being 5. It's obviously nice to have that one over Arsenal. Chelsea have won 2, so we want to par that one. I think we go for the Champions League this year. And if Mbappe doesn't settle into the Real Madrid team, I think they are vulnerable because they're getting a bit individuality, aren't they, Real Madrid? They'll either cook and win everything by 10-0, or they'll have a nightmare and City will absolutely batter them. So it's one of the two who I think will win the Champions League. And I think we have to prioritise that. But 5 in a row would be great. Let me know, City fans, 5 in a row or the Champions League. Let me know in the comments. But for me, the Champions League, so I'm going City second. So that means that in at first, I am going with the Tottenham bottle jobs. And actually, the bottle will be no more because I think Tottenham actually might win the league. Under Big Ange Postecoglou, they play some fantastic attacking football. They've got some decent signings in. How will Dom Solanke fare? I think they are linked with Federico Chiesa as well. If they can bring him in as well, that would be fantastic. Son, Kulusevski, Solanke, a very, very good and young midfield. Maddison, Sarr, Basuma. I really rate Spurs' back four. Pedro Porro is a great player. Romero, Mickey van der Ven's one of the most underrated centre-backs in my opinion. Udogie is young. Vicario is young. The minute that Tottenham sort out their set-piece defending, I think Tottenham could win this. Like, I genuinely could. It's a bit of a bold prediction. Obviously, everyone's going to go with City or Arsenal to win the league. I put them in my top 3. But I just think either Arsenal win it or they come third. And for me, they've gone third. So why not put Why can't Tottenham... Please tell me, why can't Tottenham win the league? Why can't they? What? The fact that they're absolute bottle jobs? Maybe. But who knows? They could put it behind them. Maybe win a trophy this season. Maybe win the league. Maybe win the FA Cup. Maybe win the Carabao Cup. It is time to see Tottenham win a trophy. And I think the time is now, especially if they cook up another signing like Chiesa. That would be fantastic. They've got a young team. Give them time. They had a great start to last season. People called them title challengers last season, yet they faded away due to how many injuries that they got. If they get their injury crisis sorted and have some backup for these players, I genuinely think Tottenham could title challenge. And who's to say that they can't win the league? That is a bold prediction from me. I'm definitely going to be wrong. They will definitely choke it if they were in that position, like Arsenal done twice. But who knows? So there is my final Premier League predictions for the 24-25 season. All I can say is let me cook. It's going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride. And if you are ready for the Premier League season, smash that like, subscribe down below to follow my adventure around the Premier League season and drop your predictions in the comments down below. Do you agree that Tottenham will take the trophy and Leicester will go down? Let me know in the comments. I need to hear your guys' prediction and I will see you guys very soon. Peace out. The Premier League is back, baby!